Hello there, running it's Manny again, and I've been releasing the videos of D23, of the whole travels, and then the D23, which was awesome. It was great, magical. I apologize ahead of time. I didn't record everything. I couldn't. There was just so much, and I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to see it myself. And so, but there is videos out there right now with everything out there. I tried to get as many highlights as I could, so as much information. So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give you what I thought was great, and then how it's going to affect us. That's one of the most important things, because they didn't mention, well, I shouldn't say that. Spoiler if you haven't heard. Deadpool came out and did mention Run Disney, so we'll see that in a little bit. But we're gonna go over how it affects us. Of course, it's going to be indirectly, not directly. But before we do, keep subscribing. The subscribership went up while we were over there. It's going to continue going up. I have faith in you guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Share the information of the channel. We got a couple videos coming out before the Halloween run, which is in a couple weeks. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be recording. So just be looking out for that. But without further ado, let's get to today's topics. So real quick, I was going to touch on this because I've been seeing this online and what's going on with the volunteers. And if everything is to be believed, what's going out there, I've been reading a few things. It seems like the same people are getting the emails that they're basically done with volunteers as far as Disney is concerned with through the charities. Now, if you recall last year, I actually mentioned to you guys that I am an event manager, and so I was actually asked if I wanted to work one of our events over there. I believe it was a Princess. It was a marathon weekend and Princess. And I was kind of shocked that I was they wanted me to pay, they were gonna pay me to give out waters at the water stops. So I just thought to myself, okay, this is going to be something that they're gonna be changing. It's pretty obvious now. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, so I don't know exactly why they did this. The only thing I'm going to say is before we get all the facts, people jump to conclusions. They start getting mad at, Disney. They get mad at Run Disney. They get mad at the volunteers, at the charities, they turn it political. And to be honest with you, I have no idea. I have no idea what exactly went on. There's a lot of rumors, but the bottom line is I really did love the volunteers. I think now they're going to be paid. So in a way, if they do get paid, it's the same people, great. I'm glad that they're getting paid. But until we get more information, let's not judge. Let's not get upset about anything, and let's move on. So I'm going to start with the first day of D23. Of course, we went through the expo. You got to see the expo. Was awesome. And then we got shuttled from the convention center to the Honda Center. And we got in there. It was 3 hours of them announcing movies, shows, Broadway shows. It was awesome. There was a lot of singing and dancing, so forth and so on. But how can it affect Run Disney? Well, it's very easy. If we have movies, we have shows that are very popular, it is going to have to do with the medals. So I was going to go through each one of the announcements and give it a 1 to 5 Mickeys on what I thought was if they're going to be on the medal. So with these movies affect the medals, would they be in a future medal? One being basically it's not really going to happen. I don't want to give it a 0 because knowing Disney, they may just have randoms here, and so it might just show up. But 5 means for sure it's going to show up on some kind of medal in the future. So I'm going to go through the list, and I'm going to give you 1 through 5 Mickeys. Do I think it's going to be on a medal? So the first one is Moana 2, and I think that's a 4. I think Moana has been on before, and they will be on again. Plus, you have a bunch of characters that you can actually pick from, so that's why I say Moana will definitely be a 4. I think it's almost a 5, but for sure a 4. So now we jump to Mufasa. Mufasa is the prequels, so to the Lion King, it's going to be live action. I give that one a 3. I think that it can. It depends on how the movie does, but I think it can be one of the representations later on, especially if they want to do like a summer virtuals, and they've done it before with the Lion Kings. If they do something like that again, I think that Mufasa can be there. So Captain America is coming up. The Brave New World. It's a movie I'm looking forward to watching. I think that I'm going to give this one a 2. I don't think he's going to be represented. I think the only way that they're going to represent it is, remember, they cannot represent Captain America on the East Coast. They can on the West Coast, but not on the East Coast. But I do see it being a a summer virtual. So when you have the different Captain Americans over the years, and then of course the Falcon becoming the Captain America, I think that would be something that they can use. So next up is Snow White, the live action. And I'm going to give that one actually a 2, maybe a 3. So it's going to be like a 2.5. And the reason I say that is Snow White will come out on metals again. Now, will the live action one come out on metals? That's where I have to go back towards, it's probably not going to happen. Again, they may go on a live action metals. I just don't see them being as popular as the originals. So I think they're going to go through some kind of variants of the original. But that's why I give it a 2, going maybe 3, so 2.5. The next one is Elio, the new movie that's coming out, I believe, next year. That one's going to be a wait and see. I'm not going to give it anything right now for the simple reason that I'm not sure how popular it's going to be. Lately, it's been hit or miss, and it's been missed because, you know, you have Luca, you have Strange World, you have Wish, and none of them have been represented on metals. I don't see them being represented anytime soon, but you never know. So now we're going to the Fantastic Four, and I think I'm going to give that one closer to 1 or 2. And the reason is again the rights. So they're not going to be on the East Coast. They could be on the West Coast, but we have to see how popular the movies are. And even as popular as the Marvel movies are, Iron Man is very, very popular. He is in Shanghai, or he is in the Asian country metals, but he has not been here in the United States, or at least I don't remember him being there. So I'm going to set another one of those that's going to be a 1 or a 2, but you never know. So now we move on to the live action Lilo and Stitch. It was really, really cool to see that. That was kind of a surprise. I'm going to give this one a 4 because I think that Stitch is going to come back in some capacity. And Stitch is animated anyway, so even though it's going to be live action, he's going to be in some way animated. So of course I think he's going to come back. So next up is Tron, and there's a new Tron movie coming out. I think there's a chance. I think I'm going to give this one a 3. I like the Tron ride. I am not the biggest fan of the movies, but I know a lot of you are. I could see this as a summer virtual series because there is enough now to have 4 medals. So the next one is going to be another one that I'm going to rank 5, and that's Zootopia Part 2. Let's face it, Zootopia is a very, very popular franchise. It's going to continue growing. There's going to be representation in the park soon. And of course, there is representation, or there's going to be representation in parks around the world. Zootopia, I do give it a 5. I do believe it's going to be on a medal. And it's going to probably look really cool. So the next one is going to be one of the ones where I'm going to take a waiver, and I'm not going to actually rank this one. Hoppers. Again, the movie has not come out. We don't know how popular it's going to be. I think if it becomes pretty popular, it'll go pretty quickly. If not, I think it's going to be one of those ones that's going to be kind of going down the Strange World where we might have a representation during the run, but it's not going to be represented on a medal. So the next one, I'm going to give it a 3 because I think it's overdue. Star Wars. Star Wars is going to have a couple of representations. I think the most likely one is going to be the Mando and Grogu movie. I think that it's very, very popular characters. I mean, they're bringing in a lot of money with the Mandalorian. I think the more that they add to that, it's going to make money for them. And I do think that if they ever bring back Star Wars or incorporate it, just like they have done in the Disneyland runs, they incorporate it in there, I believe that Grogu and Mando would be great for those medals. So the next one is going to be Frozen 3 and 4. So if you read between the lines, there's going to be a Frozen 4. Yeah, this one I'm going to give it a 4 or 5. It's going to go, they're going to bring new characters in, the beloved characters, Olaf, so it's going to be represented. And the last 2, I think for sure are going to be, so I'm going to rank both of these a 5. And you're going to understand when you hear them, that's Toy Story 5 and Incredibles 3. They've already been represented. They're going to be represented again. They may add characters or they may enhance a character, but they're going to be represented again in the medals. So guys, one wild card before we move on. In the entertainment part, there is a movie that has broken box office records. That's a #1 animated film of all time. That's Inside Out Part 2. So they did announce a Disney Plus show called Dream Productions. I don't believe that they will make any kind of medals for Dream Productions, but it's a good chance at starting next year because basically all the medals, all the theming has been brought out already, that we're going to get some more Inside Out. What are your thoughts on that? So which ones do you think, or which ones would you like to be represented in the medals in the future? I know I missed out on a couple of them, like Star Wars, Skeleton Crew. I don't believe that's going to be anything that they're going to touch on. Daredevil is going to be another one. I still don't think they're going to do that. Agatha all along. I don't believe that any of these shows are going to have anything. That's why I really didn't mention them. But if I'm going to rank them, I'm going to give it a 1 because, again, it's not for sure. But I just don't see them coming up. Anything that you want to see, comment down below. Okay, so now we're going over to day 2 and the experience panel, and we're gonna go park by park in the United States. Okay, I'm gonna touch a little bit on the foreign ones at the very end, but the United States, we're gonna start off in Florida. So we're gonna talk about what they're gonna be building and how it's going to affect us. So we'll start off with the minimal one. It's gonna be Epcot because they're really just doing the renovation to Test Track right now. I don't see them doing anything else anytime soon, but the walls are there. If you've gone lately, and I'm going to be there in a couple weeks, the walls are there, so we're not going to be able to run where we usually exit right by Test Track. But we have exited, and I was trying to find videos. I could not find videos. I'm sure if I continue looking, I'll find them. But we could exit through Mexico, the Mexico Pavilion, and we could just run on the side. That's what we're probably going to do if the walls are up. So you can exit towards the front. I don't see them doing that. I'm not 100% sure. So that's going to be, well, that's going to be the only two options. Is going to be towards the front or go through Mexico. But that's the way it's going to probably affect us. And it's probably going to be for this whole running season. So now we move over to Magic Kingdom. This is where they're going to be making the big changes. It was super, super cool to watch them introduce Cars Land and Villains Land. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's off to the side, so we're gonna see walls. And so I was able to find videos, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you that. So this is a video from this past year's marathon weekend. Of course, that's why it's wet. Rained on us all day. But to the right, you're gonna see what they're going to bring down, where the boat is, Tom Sawyer Island. And so as we're running here to the right, you're gonna see some construction walls. That's gonna be the theming over here. To the left, like I'm raising my hand right there, that's going to stay. So that's going to be staying over here to the left. But to the right, we'll start seeing construction walls. If you notice, I didn't even turn that way. But that's where we're going to see construction walls. They're going to fill this up, this area up on the right-hand side. And they're going to convert this into a new Cars Land that is going to be probably starting either later this year or early next year. But you're going to start seeing, you're going to have some time to go ahead and get on the rides, go to Tom Sawyer's Island. But I would do it as soon as possible just to make sure that if you want to see this. But again, to the right, we'll probably see some walls. So as you can see, guys, when we're going to be running there, we're just going to probably just see some walls, but it's not going to affect the pathway. Where I think it's going to affect us later on is that it's going to give us more room to run on. There's going to have to be exit because there's going to be some kind of, back there where they're going to have Villains Land, they're going to have some kind of access. So that might be a road where we run a little bit more in the parks, which is always great. So the next one is Animal Kingdom, and there's going to be a lot of stuff going on there. The Tropical Americas, which is Encanto, is going to be coming up. Of course, Dinosaur is going to be switching to Indiana Jones. And Under the Tree of Life, It's Tough to Be a Bug is going to become Zootopia. Now, how will that affect us? Just like Magic Kingdom, not much. We're going to go ahead and take a quick look at a video. So this is also from this past year's marathon. We're running, it's still wet, but to the left you see the dinosaur. That is going to be extinct. And I was listening to myself talk, and I actually mentioned that Dino Land USA will become extinct. So everything to the left is going to be gone. So you're going to see walls going up and down. So this was at the, if I look at this correctly, that's the 25K. So the 25K mark, you're going to see walls starting up here to the left. I don't doubt it. We're going to see some to the right also, because you see that there is some stuff with dinosaurs, and everything that's going to be dinosaur themed is going to be gone. So there's Triceratops Spins to the left right there. I'm actually saying goodbye to it right there. But Dino Land USA is right there. To the right hand side, or over to the right, is going to be the Indiana Jones. That's why I said we never even see Dinosaur the ride, so it's not going to affect us. But over here to the right, we also have some theming, some stores, restrooms. I think the restrooms they'll keep. They're just going to re-theme them. But as you notice, we run out of here. So, and you're going to see walls to the left anyways that they already have when they started bringing down some of Dino Land. So I just think that these walls are going to extend all the way back until Tropical America is built. And you can see we're probably going to just see walls there, and we're going to be seeing walls on both sides because there's a shop that they're going to have to repurpose, and of course the Encanto Land or the Tropical Americas is going to be on the other side. So we'll run down there. We can exit through the front. I just don't believe we'll do that because it's going to cause a lot of congestion. So I do believe that we're just going to see walls at Animal Kingdom. Now, Hollywood Studios is the big question mark because we don't 100% know where they're going to build. And yes, I was there and I was really, really excited when Billy Crystal came out and started singing and I knew what was going on and I was like, yes, finally Monstropolis is coming and it's going to be at Hollywood Studios. Now, the two places that they're talking about doing it is, one of them is replacing Star Tours and where the backlot cafeteria or the eating place is, and put it back there. I don't think it's going to go back there. Or Muppet Court 2 is the other one, going towards Muppet Court. I don't believe it's going to be that because you look at it and it's going to be Pixar, Star Wars, Pixar again. I think the most logical place is Animation Courtyard. And so I believe there's room going towards the back. They might have to repurpose some of the stuff back there, but I think that's the most convenient place to put it there. Either way, where we run, we will just see walls. If it's an Animation Courtyard, we're going to see less walls because it's going to be a little bit further down. If it's going to be Muppets, we're going to see more of the walls closer up. But either way, it's not going to affect the route directly. Again, later on, it might affect us indirectly if there's a route in the back, which would be really, really cool. If there would be a route from a Monsters Land or Monstropolis going into the back, going into Toy Story Land, that would be really, really cool because then we could run back there also. But that's about the only thing we're going to see. That's the way it's going to affect us on the trails. So now we're moving over to the West Coast and we have Disneyland. And Disneyland is not going to affect us at all. They didn't really mention anything. I think that's going to be something that they're going to talk about the next D23. So in about 2 years, they're going to talk about the changes that they're going to make there. I think there's enough changes going on right now that they can't just close everything up. And Disneyland is a little bit different because the two parks are right next to each other. The more stuff you close down, the worse it's going to be for capacity. But there is one place that is stuck right now, and I was there. So if you're running, and we ran through this, you're running towards a Haunted Mansion going to Galaxy's Edge. That was closed, but then all of a sudden, this came up. It's going to be opening up towards the end of August, which means we should be able to run there in September. I think that's going to be awesome. So that is Disneyland. So now we go to California Adventure Park, and we got so much going on. Avatar is going to be coming. It's been rumored. We know for a fact it's going to be coming. Coco is going to be coming. And Avengers Campus is going to expand. So how is that going to affect our trail, the runs that we do? Well, again, guys, they didn't give us a lot of stuff. The one that we do know is Avengers Campus is going to expand, and it's going to expand towards the back. So it might affect us towards the back because we do run behind it. I don't think it's going to affect us much at all. But if anything, we're going to see a few walls, but I don't even think we're going to see that much of it. We'll just see construction when we're running towards Avengers Campus. Avatar and Coco, there's no solid place that they're going to be building it right now. Right now, a lot of rumors are going around that they might even close up where the water raft ride is. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think that might be expansion. So it might be some land that they don't even, that they're not talking about right now. So if that's the case, then we're not going to see much. Now, the only other place is Hollywood Park in the front, or Hollywood Studios in the park, where Mickey and Sully's adventure ride is, which I love. I really do love that one. If that closes down, it's going to affect us very, very little because we just run in and come out. The places, the reason that it might affect us a little bit more is that that's where they have the stage where the rare characters were. We saw Bolt earlier this year, and we saw Dumbo. So Dumbo and Bolt were both back there, and so it's a cool place to have the characters back there. Now, at Disneyland, the characters don't have, or they don't have the 2 costumes, so they don't switch out. So when they come out for 30 minutes, walk back for 30 minutes, come back for 30 minutes, and so you're either going to see them or you're not, and so you're going to have that timing. But that's about the only thing that's going to affect us, and it's very minimal, so it's not going to be the biggest thing. So as of now, Disneyland is not going to be affected. But I am going to do a video, the next video that I'm going to have, or I shouldn't say that. I'm going to do the video on registration, which is coming up for Springtime Surprise. Then after that, I'm going to go over everything that's going to be for the Halloween Disneyland run and where we're going to be running. So that's going to be exciting. But right now, it's really not going to affect us. Even if they do block off that area, if they're going to build something back there, it's not really going to affect us. Now, for the foreign parks, they are building a few things. The only one that has a run right now is one of the ones in China, I believe is Shanghai, and it's not going to be major. They only do 2Ks, 3Ks, and 5Ks, so it's not going to be something major. The one that I think is going to come back, is just a matter of time, is going to be the Paris, Disneyland Paris. I believe that there's a chance that they come back next year. I think by 2026, they're going to be back. And when they are back, there is going to be some construction. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I know the lay of the land over there. I've never been there. That's going to be one of the ones that when they do bring it back, I'm going to try to get out there so I can see it, so I can report on it a lot more. But this is the thing where I don't want to start talking about it and not know what I'm talking about and then confuse you. All I can tell you guys right now is that they're going to be building some stuff. I'm not sure if it's going to affect where we run over there, but it's going to be one of those things that's a wait and see. So to finish off, D23 was just awesome. It was just so great. I really do hope that one of these days you guys can go out and see it. Now, the difference is a couple years ago when I went, it was all blue sky. So blue sky just means we're thinking about doing it, but it's not a for sure thing. So I'm glad when they started this one, the first thing they said is everything that we're saying here is going to happen. There's no blue sky. But again, the actors coming out, and we had really, really good seats. If you haven't seen the videos, please watch them. We were very, very close to the stage. We were close to stage right, just on the side. We were probably about 10, 12 rows up. So we were able to see that right there, but the actors were right there. We got to see The Rock, we got to see Billy Crystal, Darren Criss, Skylar Austin, and this, just to name a few. Megan Trainor came out and sang. It was really, really cool. So if you guys get a chance, go watch it. I'm not sure what's going to happen in a couple years. I know that Disney needed to, boom, hit this one out of the park. If they did not, it was really, really going to affect them because Epic Universe and Universal Studios is really upping their game. So they really needed to up their game. When are these constructions going to start? Some of them are going to start later on this year. Some of them are going to start all the way to 2026. So it depends. So we're going to have some time to do some of these rides. But I'm going to just turn it over to you guys. What are you more excited about? What are you most excited about? And again, just visualize that in a few years, you're going to be running and you're going to see Monstropolis. It's going to be amazing. At Disneyland, you're going to be running and you're going to see Avatar, Coco. So what are you most excited about? And starting next week, I'm going to go back to my regular videos. But it was just so much fun. I wish you guys could go out there. But without further ado, create a magical day, create a magical run, and guys, see you sooner than later.
And don't forget, I come as a package deal with Wolverine now.
We got any Disney Marathon fans out there? Huh?
Well, you let the Princess run and the villains run. Now, you can get ready for Logan's Run. That's right, run for the whole family. Except for Grandma and Grandma. They're probably going to hate it.
I appreciate whatever all this is, but the answer, Wade, no, not gonna happen.
Oh, come on!